Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Jai Shri Ram, Om Shri Matre Namaha. My name is Gomati Sivasankaran and I'm an Indian presently living in Denmark. Professionally, I'm a social entrepreneur working on children's digital well-being as a project. And I also happen to be an artist. Over the years, I have painted many oil paintings, watercolors, depicting various forms of gods and goddesses from Sanātana Dharma. As I painted each work, I found myself asking deeper questions. Who is this deity? What is the symbolism behind this particular form? What do the mantras actually mean? And so on. So while painting, I would often listen to Upanyāsams, spiritual discourses, Vedic chantings, broadly, yeah. And those moments became much more than just a background music for me. They became a source of inspiration that connected my art with the philosophy behind it. That journey naturally led me to Vyoma Samskrta Pathasala. I wanted to move beyond simply appreciating the beauty of verses. I wanted to understand them, pronounce them correctly, and experience them in their original form. Initially, I had so many doubts. First of all, living in Denmark meant that attending live classes regularly would be extremely difficult because of the time difference. I wondered, can I really learn Sanskrit chanting only through recorded classes? Will I even stay motivated? Will I be able to complete even one course? So, looking back today, I can only smile because I never imagined I would complete so many beautiful courses in such a short span of time. Through Vyoma, I had the wonderful opportunity to learn some of the very, very beautiful scriptures of Sanātana Dharma. I learned Sri Lalita Sahasranama Stotram with meaning under Srimati Sandhya Rajesh ji, Sri Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram with meaning under Sri Rajesh Anantaramuji, Sivananda Lahari with Srimati Brinda Karanam, Saundrya Lahari of Adi Shankaracharya also with Srimati Brinda Karanam, Bhagavad Gita again with Srimati Brinda Karanam, Sriman Narayaniyam with Sri Shankarrama Sharmaji, Sarvam Shivamayam, a beautiful exploration of Shiva Sostras, stories and bhajans, and also art and creativity culture, and Srimati Vani Sri Raghupati ji. And then currently I am pursuing Sri Durga Saptashati under Dr. Vinayak Rajat Bhatt ji and also Srimati Sandhya Rajesh ji. Along this journey, I was also fortunate to participate in the assessment of examinations for Shivananda Lahiri and Lalita Sahasranamam, and also recently Vishnu Sahasranama. One of the biggest strengths of Vyoma, I would say, in my opinion, is how thoughtfully every course is designed. The teachers don't simply teach us the verses, they patiently explain the pronunciation and the meaning and context and refine, the details for us. Along with that, there is always a panelist. So the panel repetitions is very helpful. And plus, we do have revision sessions and continuous encouragement that makes a huge difference in our lives. Even if you miss a live class, you will never feel left behind if you just keep the tempo. Every lesson comes with both audio and video recordings. In fact, I found this to be one of the greatest advantages, that it is like twice. I found that very useful because I would often listen to each lesson more than once. That is also needed because I am, not attending live classes all the time. Sometimes I would just first watch the video to understand the lesson and then simply play the audio again while doing my daily work. Slowly, without even realizing it, the verses became a part of my life. One beautiful change that Vyoma had brought into my life is my daily routine itself, I would say. So every morning after my regular meditation and exercise, I take my laptop into the kitchen, and then while preparing the breakfast, lunch, before leaving for work, I complete at least one lesson. So sometimes while preparing Naivedyam or cleaning the house or doing other household chores also, I continue listening to the recordings and chanting along instead of thinking, okay, do I have time? Not to purposefully think of making time. I just started asking myself, where can I integrate learning into the life I already have? So that small shift made a huge difference for me. Consistency became much more important than speed for me. So I was only targeting on being consistent. Some of the courses that I enrolled in had already, concluded. So before even I had joined, I could only learn through the recorded sessions and therefore couldn't participate even in the assessment. So, but in the more recent courses, of course, I have been able to take the assessments and I found them extremely valuable. I will definitely highly value the assessments because they are not just for scoring marks. They help identify areas that need improvement. The feedback given by the teachers or the guides, the examiners in the examination, help us refine our chanting and also continue learning with greater interest and uh, greater confidence, basically. Perhaps the biggest transformation has not been just learning the Sanskrit stotras. It's been a transformation in the lifestyle, I would say. The daily practices have brought, in a way, for me, much more discipline, consistency, and joy into my own routine, I would say. Anything, the daily chores that we do is much more beautiful because of the experience now. And when you do it as a daily practice, I think it's also mentioned in Vishnu Sahasranama. It itself, turns into a yajña by itself, and that's what it is. What once seemed to be highly impossible for me has gradually become a natural part of my everyday life. So finally, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all my teachers and also to the entire team because there are so many people involved, the panelists and technical team who always are there to help. So thank you all for your dedication, your patience, and the tremendous support and effort that you take or everything that goes into preparing every lesson. Thank you very much. Yeah. Vyoma team, for students like me who live thousands of kilometers away from India, you have made authentic Sanskrit learning both accessible and enjoyable. Thank you again for that. If someone watching this is wondering whether it is possible to learn while working full time or living abroad or starting from the basics, I can genuinely say yes, it is possible. You don't have to be perfect, you simply have to be consistent. The rest gradually unfolds with time. Yeah, one lesson a time. That's the commitment. Just do one lesson today. That's the commitment you'll have to make. Thank you once again to the entire Vyoma family. Namaste.